Unfortunately, it's pretty much been a bad day today. I have been under horrible attacks, and see, this is the thing, when you have a mobile archive and you have lots and lots of computers and, everything's standalone, you can get all kinds of stuff done, all kinds of work done, but when people destroy them, they steal them, I'm stuck. I got to get other devices. I can't get to my software because, they've destroyed the millions and millions and millions of dollars of software. So I have to end up using these other people's devices, and I'm kidnapped. Literally, I'm kidnapped, and I have to deal with situations involving inferior products because mine were destroyed. Stolen or destroyed. So I have a bad day because the web comes under attack, and I can hardly get anything to work at all. Instead of working with the systems that I had and moving things forward, that's not happening a lot today. My phone's under severe attack. It's amazing. These Democrats up there in hierarchical positions today, up there in Sacramento, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I got several different reports coming out of the inside on them. They're crying their eyes off. They're scared to death. They know I'm out there. They know I've got the evidence on them. Newsom goes out and does that dumb news conference, on the drone thing, and it's like, he doesn't really know anything about drones. I mean, give me a break, Oh, you got to be kidding, man, It's just ridiculous. And he's going to start that weird eye blinking thing. What happens? Yeah, it's like he's going to activate a remote Manchurian candidate, Yeah, Gavin, was that one yours that decided to go, attack the barriers there towards the White House? Was that one of yours there, Gavin? You can't make a decent Manchurian or what? Why are you doing this kind of stuff, man? You need to surrender. You need to hold a conference for all the voters. You need to surrender. You need to admit what you've done and surrender immediately the governor's mansion over to me. We got all these people out here dying. There's people dying all over the place. I can change that immediately. Because apparently none of you have a clue. I've had the plan designed for more than 25 years. It's kind of incredible. Bernie Sanders going to bring out his big report there. Not the worst for some little bit of statistical averaging, but he came up with a lot of the wrong conclusions. He says, yes, in 10 years there are going to be no jobs. We need to shut down AI and stuff. And it's like, well, not really. We need to do certain work on it, but there's no surprise there. I've done extensive research on AI in areas that many companies don't even know exist yet. It's really amazing. And, what he wants to do is weird. And the neat thing is he validates my work, last year, I think it was over a year ago, the Senate got a report predicting 100 million jobs being lost, over the course of the next 10 years. And we got 9 years left on it, so yeah, it's America. See, so what did he do? What did he do? What does Bernie do here now? I put out a big, huge item way back in 2005 telling people what was going on. Good luck finding a copy of that existing anymore. Oh boy, due to this continuing evolutionary violence that people deny. People were in denial about a lot of the evolving violence that have been happening over the decades. And now it's obvious. Now people see that it's obvious. Now you got people, they're wearing masks for good reason. We got a lot of bad players out there that are dangerous. This is not a game, And, well, look at me, it's like, wow, I like to walk around and have people not necessarily know who I am. So I can get in touch, with people. I can reach with people and have a more, and now, not that I wouldn't do some public stuff, but the thing is, my security situation is really screwed up. When I was getting ready to start out things and activate the fleet, boom, shutdown, violence coming at me. people shooting at me, bullets, real bullets. 600 pounds of glass on the ground, excuse me. 8 different locations, 8 physically different addresses. Amazing. Just amazing. So I'd like to try to talk you folks down up there. I mean, your intent to commit conspiracy is interesting as you continue to conspire to think about you're continuing with committing conspiracy. So intent to commit conspiracy again and again at how many points in time? You know what? Do you have any idea what that does to true core logic? When I put you people on the stand, what that's going to look like? Oh, man. You people don't have a chance. And you're lying to all the voters about what you did. You violated national security on a level that mind-boggling. You beat the snot. You beat the snot out of the Rosenblums. How about that? You people are now responsible for the worst national security violation in the history of our entire nation. You might hold that statistic forever. Who knows, I mean, you need to put the smoking credit card down on the counter and step back, please. Come on, this is ridiculous. We have people dying all over the place. I could go fix that right now. I can go fix it. But I got to run around. I got to do a bunch more paperwork still. I got to get a bunch of people on board with building a nice big panel. I got to fill 9 seats. 9 seats. I thought I had 5, and I had 1 drop out. And I had another one due to health concerns, completely understandable. They dropped out. I'm back down to 3 people. And I got people with guns. I got people with all kinds of guns out of state that are waiting for that job. They're waiting to come into the state and help out to raid the buildings if that's what's necessary to shut this down and get it over with. I mean, there are people who want to participate. By the way, there are all these people who've left California. They've left California. And they're afraid. They're victims. And technically, the law says if California strands you in their state from another state, you can still run for office and vote in the other state remotely. Legally, that's the law. Now, the flip side of this is to say people who have been violently attacked, people who have had their rights violated from demographic warfare, demographic attacks that are unconstitutional, those people are victims too. So technically under the law, they can complain and say, wait a minute, don't I have a right to vote so that I could try to restore my future and get compensated for what these people have done? I'm going to say, yeah, I'd fight for that argument. I think that's an argument that people outside California that were forced to leave basically have a right to make legitimate arguments in court of why their vote should still be valid. Because many people are stewards being driven out of the state, and the state won't do its job. The state won't get involved investigating mass rigging of elections. Julie Su should have been in custody more than 10 million times over. This entire situation is so insane, it's mind-boggling. And most of the prosecutors in this state, they're scared to death, man. They're scared to death. And, in a way, it's kind of pathetic. I mean, what'll I do? Send a nice letter to the president and say, Mr. President, there's a slight problem. Some of the prosecutors in the state are cowards. I'm working with some of them still. We're trying to figure out how to do it. They think there's an authority problem in their area. Some of them are very willing to do this. But then again, there's other ones, they're just plain out cowards, I don't know, is the president going to ask, well, which ones are those? How does that fly? So maybe I just go right back around. Can I talk you people out of the building, please? Can I just talk you into surrendering? Just hold a news conference. You can surrender the governor's mansion over to me right now, because you've attacked archives. You're way, way into treason. It's not just election rigging. You're into treason. You're facing death penalty charges. You should think about not just your future, your Mimiism. What about the future of your party? What about the future of all these people that keep dying all over the place as all these fraud charges keep coming up again and again? And it's not over. It's not only not over, you people are scrambling because you know it's a lot worse. You know it's a lot worse. And this is really bad. I'm going to say it out straight. Some of you people lied to me. You lied to me, and I caught you at it, and then you're in big trouble. You're in real big trouble. You know, so sooner or later, I'm going to get people sequestered right out. I'm going to end up, I'm trying to put a panel together right now. I might as well finish it off. I got a couple ideas framed out I'm working on. I just as soon get all the decent candidates on the panel right now. What do you say? We can just get Chad and Hilton. Just put anybody that wants to be on the panel that can qualify on the panel, regardless of political party. Now, what would the vetting on that be? You know, could you stop screaming falsely about stuff you have no evidence about? Because I got plenty of evidence about what I'm screaming about. But some of y'all, you're worse than a clown circus throwing peanuts out. The peanuts you're throwing out are rotten. I mean, this is worthless. I'm trying to show people how to get up and get a brand new financial life and do a real repair, a real stimulus plan. And I've been trying to do this for decades. And all I keep hearing is a situation that gets worse and worse, sliding further and further down the hill with more and more ridiculous solutions. Absolutely insane. And it's so sad. It's so sad. I mean, here we got Bernie Sanders. Go listen to Bernie. Go ahead. Go listen to Bernie. Go listen to Bernie. And how is it the superior knowledge was not there saying, yeah, by the way, Bernie, don't those statistics mean like there's no job for illegal aliens in the next 10 years? 92% of illegal aliens, actually in 9 years, no jobs, nothing, nada, none. It's just going to get worse and worse. Now, let's talk about the next statistic. How do we replace an economic future for some of these people that are homeless? Gee, I think a lot of them want to go to work, you know. You don't go talk to some of them. Go talk to some of them. 20% of them are the blood of stewards, basically. These people are supposed to have land stock. This is despicable. And California's fault. You're falsely claiming to be protecting these people's rights. You're not protecting their land stock rights or their residual rights. I mean, this is just absurdity as you people keep quoting materials. Oh, you got that from university. Where did that come from? What's the true core logic on that? Let's look at the history on that. Oh, look at all the names. It traces back through this person and that person and that person. Oh, my goodness, it traces right back to the Royal German Empire and a bunch of communists. Oh, wow, man, wow. Oh, hey, you like this little note? Let me pop this little note out. We're generating this material at the beginning to have something to utilize to destabilize people's lives, businesses, and, of course, their government. We have to be very careful how we arrange this information. Here's our raw that we're starting with. Yeah, and they changed it again and again and a few times. The origin, all that material, has a confession connected to it. It's all designed to be demographic weapons. You people are despicable. And true core science is ripping you up. I've been ripping you people up. And you people have been pretending. Well, I stand for a cause without a right as I lie and pretend that I am telling the truth. You guys are despicable. There's people dying all over the place. Surrender now. Surrender now. It's not going to get any better. You're not going to stop me and mine from coming. You're busted. You need to surrender now. You need to have that news conference. You need to confess to the voters what you did, because this is not an election, because we haven't had disclosure to the voters yet.